Good morning and welcome to the 2021 CalTestBed National Symposium. My name is Tenley Dahlstrom and I'm the director of the CalTestBed program at New Energy Nexus. Next slide, please. CalTestBed is an initiative of the California Energy Commission funded with electric program investment charge funds to de-risk clean energy innovations and accelerate their commercialization. This program has an innovative partnership structure with the California Energy Commission funding the effort, and New Energy Nexus designing and implementing the program in partnership with the University of California Office of the President and Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. We are supported in this work by our terrific subcontractors. Momentum assists with thought partnership and program documentation, and the Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator partners with us to organize and manage the National Symposium, this event that you are attending today. Next slide, please. The testing partners under the CalTestBed umbrella are located at 9 University of California campuses and Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. And in the last year, we have doubled the network, which is now comprised of more than 60 testing facilities. The CalTestBed Facilities Directory outlines the testing capabilities available under the program. To make this partnership manageable, we created a UC liaison role held by Randy Jenkins of the University of California Office of the President, and an ombudsperson was designated for each UC campus and Berkeley lab, who serve as the main point of contact for statements of work, contracts, and communications related to testing being done on those campuses. Next slide, please. The CalTestBed network is a complex network. Part of it, the statewide network, is curated by the California Energy Commission, and they've developed a regional energy innovation cluster that's comprised of the Southern California Energy Innovation Network, Blue Tech Valley, Activate, Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator as regional accelerators, and New Energy Nexus works on statewide initiatives with the CalSeed and CalTestBed programs. The community is supportive and collaborative and is underpinned by the Empower Innovation platform. On a national level, we have developed a large group of next level partners to connect with our entrepreneurs. We are connected to the Wells Fargo NREL IN2 network and the EPRI-led Incubate Energy Network, whose applications coincidentally are open for their demonstration projects with leading utilities. Since New Energy Nexus operates in 8 countries, we also have a global reach, and we hope that all of the participants today will connect with our network. Next slide, please. So I'd like to share with you some amazing news and amazing updates that we've collected about our Cohort 1 companies. So in our Cohort 1 of CalTestBed, they were awarded last year and announced at last year's symposium, and it's made up of 25 clean energy companies that were provided vouchers of up to $300,000 for use at participating CalTestBed facilities. The CEC funded $5.5 million worth of those vouchers, and according to our recent survey with 22 of our 25 companies reporting, 137 jobs were created since the companies became voucher recipients, and almost $108 million in follow-on funding has been secured in less than a year. The group has garnered many accolades and awards, including an Earthshot Prize. These companies are starting to finish up their testing, and we will have even more impacts after they submit their final reporting. Next slide, please. So the breakdown of the companies that we have supported is shown on this slide. We've utilized an equity in and equity out model to conduct outreach for our application solicitation to attract a highly qualified pool of candidates from all over the state that is diverse and representative. Here you can see that 28% of voucher recipients in Cohort 1 have an official designation, and 3 are located in disadvantaged communities that can greatly benefit from job creation. Next slide, please. And now I'd like to introduce the makeup of Cohort 2. You'll see many of these companies presenting during this symposium over the course of the next 2 days. We have 15 companies in our second cohort, and included are 8 focused on energy storage, 3 focused on renewable generation, 2 building technologies, and 1 industrial and agricultural innovation, as well as 1 innovation focused on Internet of Things. Of this cohort, 27% have 1 or more designations as women or minority owned. The CEC will fund approximately $3.3 million in vouchers for these companies, and we are currently in the process of executing their contracting packages. Next slide, please. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about the value proposition of the CalTestBed program. The CalTestBed value proposition includes more than that meets the eye. As mentioned previously, all voucher recipient companies will provide benefits to the ratepayers of the state, but they will also provide what I refer to as geometric benefits in other sectors. Every hour spent, every dollar invested has benefits that are multiplied. These positive externalities include increased environmental, economic, and social justice for frontline communities. This initiative can serve as a blueprint to create similar regional commercialization support efforts across the country so we can scale these efforts from coast to coast. The program has standardized terms and conditions with a focus on maintaining the entrepreneur's IP. It promotes the use and access to world-class facilities at the UC campuses and Berkeley Lab. And finally, it prepares and supports clean energy companies for their next steps toward commercialization through this symposium, our entrepreneur directory, and connection to our international network. Next slide, please. Now I'd like to invite one of our brilliant Lacey partners, Mike J. Sanchez, to the stage to introduce herself and give us a few quick tips on how best to use the Remo virtual event platform.
Thank you, Tenley. Good morning, everyone. So before we actually get started with the program, we wanted to provide you with some information on Remo so you can get the most out of this event. So first thing, if you have not done so already, make sure you update your Remo profile, which you can see here in the top right corner. Remo allows you to network in a similar way. Conference. So what that means is when we are in the main floor during networking breaks, you can actually move from table to network and video chat with other folks by clicking on open green seats at each table. You can also click and drag the floor plan to maneuver around the floor, as well as scroll in and out to zoom in and zoom out on the main floor to adjust your view. When we are in presentation mode like we are now, you can still chat with the attendees in the general chat, as well as those at your table in the table chat. And individuals in the private chat, you can see this to the right of the screen. And then what you're currently seeing on this slide was that main floor that I was talking about, where you can jump around and move table to network with others. You can also maximize the video screens of presentations to get a better view by clicking the green arrow on your top right to maximize the chat, and then click the 4 outward facing arrows to maximize the presenting screen. So if you can see right now on this screen that you're seeing for the presentation, there's arrows at the top right corner so you can get a better view, especially when entrepreneurs are doing their pitches. If you do have any questions at any point, you can enter that in the Q&A chat for us. So thanks to the individual who put in a question earlier, we will be monitoring that Q&A, so we'll be able to answer your questions there. But if you do experience technical difficulties during the event, please email us at events@lacy.org. So with that, I'll turn it back to Tenley, who will introduce our first speaker.
Thanks so much, Maite. I appreciate the overview of the Remo platform. It's really such a cool platform to use for these virtual conferences. It gives you that feeling like we're all actually in the room together. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the chair of the California Energy Commission, David Hoesshield. I deeply appreciate Chair Hoesshield making time to provide our opening keynote remarks.